Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome. My name is Chinyere Doko Ezugu. I am the Eden Woman. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. If you're a new subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. All right, you're welcome back. Welcome to day 4 of book review. We are reviewing this book. If you're new here, The Smart Money Woman, an African girl's journey to financial freedom. And we are becoming the homemakers. We are on the journey of becoming homemakers. That is why we are reading this book. And we do this on our Telegram channel every night for the next 14 days. This is day 3 or day 4 already, and we have 10 days to go. On our Telegram channel, the link will be on the description box. We meet every day by 9 p.m. to discuss and review this book. And you're welcome to this meeting. Dear homemakers, you are welcome. I hope you've done your assignments for the day 1 and the day 2, the exercise. We are giving exercise of calculating our net worth on the day 1, on the chapter 1. On the chapter 2, we are giving exercise of making a list of our money fears and other things. Please check the previous videos so that you can tag along with us. You can be on the same page with us. So today we are discussing chapter 3. Yes, we are discussing chapter 3 of this book. And then the chapter 3 says, where is your money going? This is a very important chapter of this book for me, because until you know what your problem is, you can't know how to solve it. So some people says, there's an adage that says you need to know your past so that you can work on your future, you can have a better future. So we are going to get an answer to this question tonight. Where is my money going? Okay, as we all know, this is the story of an African girl called Zuri. Zuri is she's a working class lady, works in a decent company, gets a decent pay, but at a point in her life she has to review her life. She became broke. The first chapter was called Broke, second chapter Money Fears, and that is how she's using her story to enlighten us on financial freedom. And I hope that at the end of this exercise, we are going to rock as homemakers. You know what we mean by slaying from home is making money. That is what slay means to us. To some people, slay means to be half naked, walking on the road, wearing designers. In this network, no. In this community, no. To slay means to make things happen, to rise to your full potentials, to make impact, to live a life of purpose. And as homemakers, people traditionally feel that homemakers cannot, what can they do? They just sit at home and wash dishes and change nappies and take care of the husband and the children. No, we are changing the narrative. As a homemaker, you can still slay. You can still rise to your full potentials. And that is why we are starting by reading this book. This is our stage 1 to becoming homemakers. So in this season, we are becoming homemakers, because whatever we are doing is for the kingdom. So where is your money going? All right, this chapter 3 started by showing Zuri on a Saturday morning, as she set aside that Saturday morning to tackle her financial situation. You know, she has found out why she was broke. She has admitted her money fears, and she has written them out. And now it's time for her to work. She wants to know where her money was going. As she was slamming music, dancing, having fun, and all that, she had her account statements printed out. And that is the first step. That is where to start from. If you have ever been scared of printing your account statement, after this chapter, you will gather the liver. You will have the guts, because it really takes guts. I'm telling you from experience, to print out your statements of account, to know where your money is going. So she had decided to deal with this financial situation the same way she would tackle a tax at work. This is one thing we need to know. If you want to handle your financial situation, face it the way you would do a task, the way you wouldn't have work on your desk in the office and you're not doing it, the way you wouldn't have dirty dishes in the kitchen and you're walking away, you leave it for days. You cannot do that unless you're a very dirty woman. The way your child will be sick and you will attend to the child. That is how we need to attend to this financial situation. So logically, as she sorted through the paper bag that acted as a filing cabinet for all her bank statements and service charge bills, she puzzled over where exactly all her money had gone, because she earns well. So Zuri wasn't broke because she doesn't have a job. She wasn't broke because she's poor. No, she was broke because she doesn't know how to handle her money. So as she riffled through the bag, she noticed that most of her bank statements were unopened. It dawned on Zuri that she's been supremely careless with her money for an incredibly long time. She had been months at a stretch. She hasn't even checked her bank accounts. The statements she had looked at, she only paid cursory attention to it. So if you have not been printing out your statements of accounts at least twice in a year, you have been very careless with your finances. Don't be like me. I do mine every quarter. I print out, but most times I don't have the liver to look at it. I feel afraid, but that has been a problem. So we need to face this problem head on. So she sorted through the statements, arranged them according to dates, and used her highlight pens. That's mine. Go get yours. It's very cheap in the stationery store. To categorize her spending. Blue for meals. This is a very good lesson here. She used blue marker or blue pen to show where she spent on her meals. Pink for accessories, green for her car, and so on and so forth. As she pored over her financial life, she came to an even more depressing realization. She had always been afraid of her bank statements, and she hadn't wanted to admit to herself how precarious her life really was. When you're a careless spender, that is why you're afraid of opening your bank statement, because you know that you're going to judge yourself when you open that. Subconsciously, she'd always known she was spending mindlessly, but never wanted to confront her spending habits because it made her uncomfortable. Who wouldn't be uncomfortable confronting your bad habits? But when you don't confront it, it will never be solved. So the best bet is to confront your bad habits. So from this paragraph, I learned that highlighting them will help you. If pink is for your meals and you see plenty pink, it's actually telling you that you eat out a lot, so you need to cook more at home. Or if bags or accessories is in blue and you're seeing plenty blue in 1 month, it means that you've been shopping for clothes too much. You're being too materialistic. Nobody will judge you in this matter. You judge yourself. So it was painful but eye-opening. In fact, she had a new philosophy. If you want to truly know a person, look at their bank statements. How true is this? I want to hear your opinion in the comments. Is it really true that if you truly want to know a person, look at their bank statements? I don't know. Just tell me what you think, because your bank statement says a lot about you. That is just it. Where your money goes, how you spend your money says a lot about the kind of person you are. But that wasn't who she was it? Why then did the money she had spent not reflect her values? The money you spend reflects your value. Your values is seen in your spending. So when I get your statements of accounts, it shows me what you value. If I see plenty offering, it means you're a church girl. You go to church a lot. If I see church donations, it means you like work of God. If I see you donating to the needy, donating to motherless babies home, elderly homes and all that, it shows what you really value. If I see you buying plenty clothes, it shows what you value. If I see you eating out, it shows what you value. So your bank statement says a lot about you. So Zuri went on this serious Saturday morning exercise. While others were sleeping in, she was really working on her destiny. This is destiny search. That's what I choose to call her exercise, like what we are doing now. Coming out every 9 p.m. to discuss money is not a small thing. Some people are sleeping by then. Some people have other things they're doing. Some people have soap operas they watch. They choose to leave it. You know, some people will not even leave their soap opera, not even for this. It means they are not ready to work on their destiny. So Zuri continues this. She was going to have to go on a money diet. That's another thing I highlighted, their money diet. I just saw it for the first time and I'm like, the way we go on a diet, you're big, you're asked to go on a diet, reduce your intake, check the calories, you know, that's how you do it. The calories in Zuri's money diet might be the designers that she insists on buying, the class that she puts herself in, and she's trying to compete with nobody, with people that don't even know she's competing with them, or people that have problem even more than her. And then the cutting down on spending can be cut down your portions and stuff like that. So the way we attribute dieting for those of us that want to lose weight is the way you attribute your money. You know, you check at it, they had the same thing. So, and then the story continued with Zuri inviting her friends over that weekend for them to eat together. And there's something she did here that I like. You know, it's her friend that has been her problem, because she eats out a lot with her friends. And these friends are not bad friends, so she wouldn't want to lose them. So because she doesn't want to lose them, she invited them over. She devised another means, which is to invite them over to her home and cook for them, and also tell them to come with what they have. I love that everybody came with something, which makes it look like a love feast. And they had fun. They were gisting, making noise, laughing. They had the same fun they have at those expensive restaurants. All right, page 39. Zuri began to make a list of all things she had to quit spending on. Okay, this is when she was still doing her her gym, her financial dieting. You know, financial diet, that's what she called it. So first of all, she looked at her gym membership. Gym membership is good, but for her financial situation now, she had to start running on the streets. She lives in an estate. It's very secured. She can do her walk, morning walk, evening walk, or her whatever she does in the gym. She can do stuff like that in her estate. For now, when her finances gets okay, she can register with a gym. Then her petrol, she looks at the fuel she spends, all this her waka waka, she had to cut down so that she could be using little fuel, especially at this beautiful time in my nation that fuel is really, really gold. So she looked at her grocery. So are there things she could cut down for now until she balance well? If she used to eat plenty chicken, she needs to reduce it. She looked at her credits, airtime. How often does she load her phone? Does she call people to just have fun and all that, or gossip? She had to reduce that. And her data, you know, these are the things she's looking at. Her clothes and her shoes. She's really doing serious analysis. And her eating out, she also checked on that. And Zuri decided that avoiding her bank statements and not checking the balance of her account were no longer options. Yes, she has to face these fears. It's no longer an option. She will set money dates with herself on Sundays. This is another thing. Apart from money diet, financial diets, another thing is money dates. I'm picking some words here that is really going to help us as homemakers. Set money dates with yourself. Sit down. These will be the dates you're going to print out your statements. You sit down, you look at yourself, and you look at it, and you go on a diet. You check whether you need to go on a diet or not. So she sets money dates for herself. So this is not time to be visiting friends anyhow. These Sundays she sits down and check her finances. You know, the same way when you're sick, at the point they will be asking you to be coming for regular checkups in the hospital until you're certified that you're very healthy before you stop. That is exactly what she's doing. So she was trying to make it a habit to keep track of everything she spent in a notebook, which she reviewed at the end of every week. So during those money dates, she brings out this journal, this notebook, where she tracks her expenses. I did that sometime in my life, and I was so shocked what I spent in a day. I'll be saying that I don't have money, but the things I spend on, I look at some things I spend and I'm like, it's not necessary. So if you can get a small journal that you can keep in your handbag and be tracking your expenses. If you buy granules, you write it. If you buy chewing gum, you write it. At the end of the week, you look at what you spent on last week and then ask yourself whether you have been wise or unwise. All right. Um. Okay, there's another word she put here. She wrote, as she definitely was experiencing severe bouts of FOMO, FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. That was one of the things that is taking her money, because she doesn't want to miss out on their schedule. She doesn't want to miss out on hangouts with friends. She called it FOMO, fear of missing out. And how did she tackle this fear of missing out? Is by inviting her friends over and initiating that love feast kind of fun, and where they all come together and eat, and everybody comes with something and they have fun. And she also prepares something at home, and she found out that it doesn't cost her much. Instead of going to restaurants to drink bottle of wine for 30,000, a plate of food for 5,000, she made it at home, and it did not really cost her much. Zuri was enjoying herself. This was when her friends were around. She was glad to see that her friends didn't seem to be missing being out at a trendy restaurant. But just as she started to crack open the second bottle of wine, she decided it might be a good idea to share some of her money concerns with the girls. You see, this home setting make them to think. If they were in the restaurant, they might be gossiping about somebody, talking about one irrelevant things, maybe talking about movie and chatting away. But because they are in the house, it gave opportunity to say, okay, this thing I'm going through now in this season of my life, let me share with my friends and see who it will benefit. And now she started, guys, do you ever think about where all your money goes? Zuri said suddenly. Lara laughed. How would you mean? And all that and all that. And when they started, you need to read this. This conversation started from page 45 through 46, 47. They started talking about their money. And you notice that all of them have issues with their spending. Even the one that's working in an oil company that's earning in millions monthly has her own issues. They start telling their stories. So she now realized that it's not only how this money thing is not just about her. She realized that all her friends were going through the same thing, both the married friends among them and the unmarried, both the big ones and the rich ones and all that. So the conversation continued to page 53, where Zuri considered her friends women who lived very comfortable lives but didn't seem to have a handle on their finances. These women, if you see them on the streets, you think they are rich. You know they are rich actually, because they have good jobs and they're doing well. Some married to rich men, but they don't seem to have a handle on their finances. This is why we are here. We're not going to become such women. We are going to do business. We are going to slay as homemakers, but we are still going to have a handle on our money. Amen? I hope you're on the same page at this point. I hope we are understanding ourselves. That is why we are here. That is why we are doing this. We need to have a handle on our finances. Their money seemed like it was being pulled in different directions, the most of which were not the directions they intended. What do we want our money to do? This is a good question that Zuri asked. As you're making that money, as you're engaging in that business, what do you want that money to do for you? Is a good question. Set a money dates for yourself. Sit down and really think. Crack your brain about that. Do you have thinking moments? That is the best moments you can give to yourself, when you sit alone all by yourself and think. What do you want your money to do for you? That new business you're planning to start, or the one you started, what do you want the money from that business to do for you? Your job, what do you want your salary to do for you? This is a good question we need to be asking ourselves. She had never really articulated what exactly she wanted the money she earned to do for her. The truth is, if she had asked herself this question when she started the job newly, she wouldn't have gone into buying Chanel bags and Louis Vuitton and setting up a race that she runs alone. She wouldn't have been in the mess that she was in. So she had never really articulated what exactly she wanted the money she earned to do for her. Although she had taken some decent steps towards figuring out where her money was going, she realized now, after weeks of her spending diets, that she needed a more concrete plan for any of the changes she had made to be sustainable. So this, at this point now, page 53, she has gone through 6 weeks of money diets. She has started paying her bills, her debt, paying off her debts bit by bit, and then, but she said that she needed a more concrete plan so that this new habit to be sustainable. You know, they said that you need another habit to replace a bad habit. You don't no, but nothing operates in a vacuum. No one succeeds in a vacuum. You don't say, I've stopped drinking alcohol, and you just stop drinking. You have to replace alcohol with something, because when the urge comes, when the crave comes, what will you replace it with? So as you stop drinking alcohol, you keep a juice or something, a healthy drink beside you to be drinking. Or if you want to stop drinking soda because you're watching your weight, make sure you have smoothie beside you all the time, so that whenever that crave for drinking something comes, instead of you to grab soda, you have something to grab and eat. So that is how it works. So she needs a more concrete plan so that the change can be sustainable. Not after paying off her debt, she will go back to where she was. So we have come to almost the end of this chapter, and the next is the smart money lessons on tracking your expenses. So the money lessons here, I'm going to read down on this page. Most people don't know where the money they earn goes. Yes, that is the bitter truth. What percentage of your income goes to food, transportation, clothes? Just like in any successful business where you track the revenue and costs periodically, it is also important to track the expenses in our personal life, and this is called budgeting. In this community, we are still going to learn budgeting. Budgeting for moms, budgeting for homemakers. We need to learn how to budget when the income comes, when they give you that money for the upkeep of the house, or when your salary drops, or when your business money drops. How do you budget? How do you calculate it? How do you assign what to what, and that kind of thing is very important. Recently, I noticed that in my new business I noticed I brought a notebook for bookkeeping, because I was told that bookkeeping is very important in business. And I just learned from here now, you also do bookkeeping for your money, and that is called budgeting. When that profit drops, how do you spend it? How do you intend to spend it? What percentage goes to transportation? What percentage goes to paying your staff? What percentage goes to, are you just employing people anyhow, not knowing the percentage of your income that you should be using to pay them? What percentage goes to clothes and stuff like that? In Zuri's case, Zuri said she was not buying clothes for the next 1 year. And when I read it, I was like, girl, go girl. I know you can do it. You can do it. You can wear the clothes in your closet for 1 year without buying a new clothes. Who said you must buy new clothes? Who said your identity is tied to new clothes? Who said so? Just give it a trial. For 1 year, you will still look good wearing one clothes. I have tried it. Yes, to me now it's not a big deal. I have tried no ashebi for 1 year. I have tried no buying of new clothes, not even one new clothes. Rather, I give out for 1 year, and nobody died. Nothing happened. It did not reduce who I am. So some women have no idea how much their lifestyle costs. Honestly, she may not spend recklessly, but she subconsciously develops a habit of spending, good or bad. If you don't treat the money you earn with respect, it will leave you. Yes, this is a great lesson I learned here. Money must be respected, or it will fly away. Money have wings. It can disappear in a minute. In this minute, you think you have 1 million. In the next week, you realize that you're broke. It is real. It is real, ladies. It happens for real. So we have to learn to spend with intention by allocating our resources to reflect the lifestyle we want and are able to sustainably afford. The watchword here is intention. You need to be intentional in your spending, and when you're developing a lifestyle, do the ones you can afford, the one that can be sustainable. Oh. Don't look at anybody. You're not in a competition with anybody. The truth is that the people you think are watching you, they are thinking about their problems. They were just staring at you. They're not even seeing you. They're not even seeing your gold and silver. They are just thinking about their problems, because everybody have a problem. You can see Zuri's friends, even the seemingly big girls, rich girls, when they started talking, they realized that all of them have money problems. This all starts with having a clear idea of where the money is going in the first place. You have to give up the excuses and learn to control money instead of letting money control you. You know, they say we have good reasons for not doing the right thing. We always have good reasons. Why didn't you come for meeting? There is a beautiful reason. Why didn't you do this? There is a good reason. Ditch your excuses. Start living a no excuse life when it comes to doing the right thing. In this case, when it comes to your finances, forget all your excuses and become intentional. So these are the lessons we learned here. So here we learned that Zuri had to track where her money was going. She had to make some lifestyle changes, changing from gym membership to running in her estate and exercising in her neighborhood and all that, from eating out with friends to eating in the house with friends and everybody bringing something while coming, and they realize that they don't have to spend in a big restaurant. Is she saying that it's not good? No. For her to track her finances, she had to stop some lifestyles and maybe do that once in a while. And she had to check her data and airtime, how it goes, and other aspects of her life, her groceries and other aspects of her life. So that is it about this chapter on where does my money go. Now, the big question to you now is, where does your money go? Do you know? Can you say that off heart? If you can't, there is no problem. Set a money date. Sit down with yourself. I, me, and myself. Set 3 chairs. I, me, and myself. Oh yeah, let us talk about this money thing. Get your biro, get your journal, sit down and begin to write everything you spend and check where your money goes. Before you do that, go and print your bank statement and develop the habit of printing your statement every quarter. I do that every quarter, but here they are recommending every month for a start, and with time you can start extending it and be checking yourself. When you do it every month, you track yourself. These days you can even print your bank statement from your phone. You know, if you check your bank website, you can print your statements of accounts from. You don't even need to enter your bank to do that. So that is it with this chapter, and we have an exercise to do. We have an exercise as always. If you're faithful in this exercise, you'll be grateful to yourself at the end of this exercise. That's one thing I've realized. Being faithful with this is actually the cocoa. When you go to the last page of every chapter, there is an exercise. Meanwhile, if you're new here and you don't know what we're talking about, we are reading this book and it's in our Telegram channel. And the link to our Telegram channel is on the description of this video. If you get our Telegram channel, there is a pinned message up. You click on it and you get this book. You download and start reading with us. But if you can get a hard copy like this, that will be fine, so that you can make notes and mark pages just like I do. All right. So the exercises, number 1, there is 5 exercises for this chapter. Number 1 says, write down everything you spend your income on in the last month. This will give you good ideas of how you are spending money and help you identify areas to cut or increase. Yes, write down everything you spend. Write down. Number 2, review your bank statements from the last 12 months. So for a start, go and print for the last 1 year and review how you have spent money for the last 1 year. Number 3, separate your findings into wants and needs. Limit your wants and prioritize your needs. So when you check all your spending, you check your wants. Which ones are your wants? You know what I mean by wants and needs. There are things that you just bought them because you were craving it. You wouldn't have died if you did not buy them. If you did not spend on that, nothing would have happened. And there are some expenses that are really needs, like your house rent, food, and some other things. Number 4, identify 3 to 5 things to cut each month that will make a significant impact. Review what you are spending on things like your phone calls and food, because these are examples of things that are important but we tend to spend on mindlessly. Phone calls is important, checking on your loved ones is very important, food is very important, but sometimes we spend on them mindlessly. We don't even care how, because we already told ourselves that they are important, we do them recklessly without minding. Number 5, spend on the things you have and cut expenses ruthlessly in the things that don't matter to you. So we have come to the end of chapter 3, and this is so very eye-opening. Are you enjoying this money and business gist? I am really enjoying. We are still talking more on money. By the time we enter on business, then when the business money starts coming, you will know how to handle it, because by then you have become the African girl who has financial freedom. This is a journey. We are on this journey, and this journey is a 12 days journey, and it's a daily journey. So I am expecting us to put down your comments on what you're learning on this journey. This is very, very important to me, honestly. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear from you. What are you learning from this? What decisions are you taking? How are these things affecting you? I've been discussing mine. I want to hear yours. I want to get to hear from you. How are these money mindsets affecting you? So I am waiting to hear from you. And on the last video, we forgot to discuss the rising woman's attitude, the attitude of the rising woman, number 2. So it means that we are going to discuss number 2 and number 3 now in this video. Or should we do it? I think we should do it in the group. I think I should discuss this in the group and not here. Yes. So come to the Telegram group if you want to know the attitude of the rising woman. We are all rising women. We are rising to our full potentials as Eden women. So come to our Telegram group, the Homemaking Queen Circle, so that you understand, you know what it takes to be a rising woman. On the first video, I discussed about comparison. Comparison is an issue with women, and I discussed it. The second, third will be tonight on our group. So at this point, go do your exercise as we wait for the next meeting. 9 p.m. every day for the next 12 days on our Telegram channel. The link is in the description box. Click on the description box and get to the group. Just join us. It's free of charge. And subscribe to this video. And if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up. Click on the like button and share with your friends and family members. So thank you for joining me tonight on this Money and Business Gist Day 4, and see you again tomorrow 9 p.m. Have a blessed night as you rise to your full potentials. Bye.